This dog is looking to bring home the business. So, where are the chips falling, Mystic? Who do you reckon is taking this set?
I think Mr. R, he has the matchup. I feel like the matchup is much more favored in his like, yeah, it's definitely more favored for him. Just the fact that he has a sword, and the fact that he could just build damage off of very few conversions like that. Super difficult.
Very, very true. I am very much looking forward to this. Those disjoints really going to be the difference maker, I feel. I think you're definitely right, especially abusing some of that aerial game. It looks like Jaka has to try and find a way in now, rising there, and a couple of projectiles, but
wow,
Mr. R a bit too quick on the trigger there.
Yeah, just barely missing the intangibility from the get-up there. Regardless though, Jaka's actually placed pretty well right now.
I completely agree. I'm very curious how the traps are actually going to factor in as well, because, yeah, Mystic, we as human beings, we've got 3 primal instincts, right? We eat, we breed, and we short hop nair on swords.
Exactly.
That is, we are all coded to do that, as
speaking
Mr. R sends him straight off. But yeah, that's what I'm curious about, is how Mr. R can sort of play grounded, and if he's going to start getting conditioned to jump and be a bit more caught out with these nairs, with these up tilts.
Exactly. One thing that Isabelle has going for her is those active hitboxes. She could just place them in the right spot, and you're just going to get hit.
You can push a button on the controller, go and get yourself a red ball and come back, and that active hitbox will still be going now. But saying that, Jaka is definitely in trouble. A tilt going to send him off. A pot snipe, baby, sends him right down.
He's not letting up. Not at all. Just absolutely just destroyed off stage. No option remaining, and just clobbered him off stage.
Yeah, and we all know how great Isabelle's recoveries can be, you know.
Exactly.
Throws out hitboxes with those balloons that really mess up any kind of attack you can go for. Incredible vertical recovery. And also a tether grab, because, you know, why not?
Yeah. And honestly, the momentum that Jaka has from those platforms is actually very surprising. I haven't seen much Isabelle gameplay apart from his own today, and you know what? He's very scary when he has those platforms.
He's absolutely making a case for it, but Mr. R definitely able to use them to his advantage as well. Can really keep a couple of juggles going. He'll be able to air dodge back in, but now he's going to reach the ground, and Jaka is not making it easy, Mystic.
Wow, he didn't even need to do that. He just said, get out. Just get lost. I'm not dealing with you anymore.
He's just drizzled a little bit of honey on top. You got to respect it. And suddenly, looks like Jaka's turned this all the way around now. And this is not a matchup.
Ooh!
That is going to be settled like that. Both of these players have win conditions, have sneaky little ways of clawing a little bit of advantage. So we're going to see if Mr. R can push it all the way, or if Jaka's got a couple more tricks in that bag.
Absolutely. Oh, wow. Okay, that was good.
Yeah, there's one.
Yeah, right there. Just abusing the fact that Isabelle up B can go as far as it wants.
Yeah, exactly. Really going to be able to abuse that. I'm curious if we're going to see any sort of more nonsense like that in these stage selections now, as Mr. R trying to keep them off that corner. But
this is very hard for Isabelle. The disjoints are very, very hard to get that from ledge. Jump F smash!
Crazy stuff. Wow. Almost did it. I would have believed. Tether not going to help there. Can they make it back? Burst the balloons, but it doesn't quite matter. Isabelle actually got some decent run speed to try and avoid any kind of potential punish there, but he is in trouble now. He's got to find a way in. If he gets the grab down, can we see a string? Can we see him? But he reached the roll.
Exactly. And now he's on the platforms. He has to deal with Isabelle.
It looks like we're resetting, but it is Jaka who's got the opening gambit now. Pot goes wide now, as Mr. R slowing it down a little bit. No need to push it that much.
He's abusing the fact that he gets higher percents. Doesn't want to risk a hard entry, but it doesn't matter. Jaka reads the shields. Oh, still back on ledge now.
That's what we like to see. Get up attack was the right option. Those balloons really stunting out an offense from Jaka there. Just do it again. Ooh. He misses the grab now, rising there just to call it out.
How active that nair is. It's just so good when you place it in the right spot.
Exactly. You can see it's definitely their bread and butter now.
Did you even notice the Lloyd rocket?
I didn't see that at all.
Me neither. And you know what? That just shows how far ahead Jaka is right now. He just, in terms of being able to just have that game plan, be ready for anything, and just off that Lloyd rocket, immediately cook him first.
Yeah, and that's what's so interesting about sort of Isabelle's kit. You know, obviously not the finest, not the upper echelons of the Smash characters by any means, but they are very unpredictable, and they can really instill a lot of anxiety in you if you don't know what to look for.
Absolutely, and you know what? Like, just the idea that he was ready for ledge. He was cycling through his options. He caught the ledge jump, and he just pressured that ledge as much as possible, threatening even a trump maybe. And he got him to roll successfully, and he got a kill confirm off of it. It's insane.
Got that right. We've got to stop complaining about Snake C4. We'll make these lords a bit more visible. Come on, who's with me? As we move on into the second game. Curious what we're looking at stage-wise. Looks like a very clean run back, and I don't blame them. You know, I think both these players finding a lot of advantage with these platforms, and, well, maybe it is just a case of downloads, right? Maybe, all right, you've got me there, you got me there, but I'm not going to fall for that again. We shall find out.
Absolutely. And, wow, look, the platform, as you mentioned, is just huge for Chrom's advantage. Just not letting center stage ever go.
Yeah, I really like what Mr. R is doing there, retreating to the platform, sending him off. There's just no way for Jaka to get back, because if he's standing on that platform, you can't hit him with any projectiles.
Exactly.
But
wow!
he is fast enough that he can send him right off back to his own, looking for a spike.
That's enough.
Oh, no. It barely wasn't enough. That turnip, a little sour there.
Suicide.
Tries to get the drag down. Nope, not quite worth it. Not quite worth it, it seems. And Mr. R only on 47. Now, don't get me wrong, we've seen him die for less, right? So I don't want to speak too soon, but looking pretty healthy now. Looking like he's definitely got a bit of a run back on Jaka here. How many more tricks has that dog got? I do wonder. Now as he sits straight up.
Yeah, Jaka just didn't respect the fact that they had very little end lag from that up on the platform. And that's one of Chrom's just strengths. The landing lag is not nearly as much as others.
Exactly. Finding something spicy here. The Lloyd goes down. And you know what? Ooh!
There you go. Yeah, I saw that little
yeah, he
pop.
just got a little garden trough out. He's like, right, let me do a bit of landscaping before I bury you in that coffin and the hole I've just dug.
Exactly.
As we keep on moving. Mr. R doesn't have to play too crazy. He does have the lead. He's got a little bit of rage to play with. Turnips coming out once again. But I love the face plant into the stage there. Wanted to completely avoid any kind of nonsense.
The DI from Jaka there, I'm pretty sure that was buffered DI. He just made sure that he was not getting hit by the back air. This is rough though, because that ledge get up is very slow and Chrom's jab is active.
Yeah, I know. And we found that Mr. R has got a lot of his kills off these sides. Right, you've got to watch out.
Wow.
But the turnaround immediately takes it. Looks like Jaka's giving himself a little bit of insurance with that Lloyd as well, forcing the down tilt.
Exactly. And you know what? The presence of mind to reverse edge guard in that situation is just exactly why a player like him is in top 8. And you know what? The momentum is just building right now.
Got that right. Throwing a couple of projectiles out, lingering there once again. The hammer comes out, the turnips go down, but he's not going to find it just yet. So we're just going to go wide, but we can just whip a little bit of a dash attack. But the Joy-Con drift air dodge, Mystic, was not the one.
Yep, just definitely not. Like, Mr. R was just calm and composed, just waited to see where that jab ended up. And you know what? Just cleaned up without tilt.
Yeah, you got that right. Going to see if Jaka can pull it all the way back, but it's looking pretty good for Mr. R right now. And, you know, obviously one of Mr. R's biggest strengths is how incredible his spacing is, but you can see just how good he is at improvising that as well, because every time he's destroyed a Lloyd, it's like muscle snap, like immediately, like it's perfectly spaced, it cannot be punished for committing to destroying it. It's just a free little click, just a free little advantage now, speaking of which.
That could have been jab F smash. I'm not sure if it would have killed, but either way, this is very scary for Jaka right now. On ledge versus Chrom. The percents are looking pretty high.
Yeah, you can see these little turnarounds that Mr. R is going for. He is constantly threatening a roll read.
Exactly, and you know what? He's just cycling through the ledge options. And there was the roll.
Ooh, just a little bit too late. Probably expected something a little bit different now. Perfect parry!
Brilliant parry. That was exact. You knew they anticipated that. That was beautiful.
Parrying is so important against these swordsmen. The fact that they have, especially Mr. R of all people, who spaces so perfectly. You need to net all the advantage you can there. Speaking of nets, let's see if they can find a grab here, send him back off. But no, Jaka makes up the recovery a bit.
There we go. Look at that parry. Oh, still living.
That is one hefty push, let me tell you. Let's see if we can find a rising there. Nope, playing it a little bit slow.
This time. No jump. Okay, this is a very scary situation. On the platforms versus Isabelle, and she has center stage.
Yeah, and she's got a little Lloyd buried in that center stage as well. Pulls the trigger a little early, that's quite all right. Keeping the platforms in play now as he tries to make a retreat down off to the edge.
Oh, that was a very aggressive order from ledge. That's definitely going to be punished by Mr. R.
Yeah, got to be very careful there. Excellent sort of awareness from Mr. R there as well, just to know that that aggressive option is coming out and to throw out something that really wouldn't, you know, doesn't really align with a lot of the pressure that Jaka was giving him. You know, for example, like we were seeing pots, we were seeing short hop, like pellets, but they didn't really expect the dog over the head assault technique. So yeah, fair play.
True.
So what do you reckon now? Do you think Mr. R's got the download? Do you reckon Jaka's got even more tricks in that journal of his?
I think Mr. R has a lot of information now. And I feel like he used it very well in game 2, where he just kept calm on ledge, just cycled through all those ledge options, and just the presence of mind to be in neutral, weave in and out of those pellets, and just use movement to his advantage, because that's what you need to do versus these projectile characters. It's initially really tough for neutral, but once you're in, it's fine because your disjoints can just clean everything up, regardless.
That's right. As you explode onto PS2 right now. Interesting stage choice. I think it is going to help Jaka a lot. A lot more space to play with is going to be beautiful.
Exactly. And look at that beautiful combo again, using the platform to his advantage.
That's the stuff. I like the mix-up, not going for the jab, but instead they go for a down air, and it's just too sour. Finally, taking time to charm, though, as he manages to make it in. A couple of pellets coming in, a couple of up tilts as well, but it looks like Mr. R is going to be the one who finds the end of the stick there.
Look at that. Speaking of sticks, he's using that broomstick to get as much advantage from that up tilt, and he's still covering.
Trying to clean house. What can I say now as the jab comes in, sends him down, and the assault from Mr. R is just non-stop. Jaka's got nowhere to run. He's got no space to play. He's got no traps to set because Mr. R is just keeping on the pressure. He's pouring on the gravy.
Exactly. You know what? That ledge is like the hardest part for Jaka right now. The fact that they were able to barely make it past this time, I wonder. I think Mr. R will catch the next option. I'm pretty sure he will.
I think so. I really want to see Jaka abuse these Lloyds a little bit more. He's conditioning Mr. R to take him out with a down tilt as soon as possible. And I want to see more punishes, even if you just throw a pot at him, right?
Yeah. Whiff punishing is very, very strong versus Swordies as well. It's more so like... Okay. He's on ledge.
We'd like to see, does get the grab, try to get the drag into the Lloyd, but he's got a little bit of safe space right now. That's what we'd like to see, but the parry from Mr. R is fantastic to push that advantage and flip it right around there, Mystic.
He can't kill with jab anymore because it just sends too far. So this is a bit of a difficult situation, but he managed to scrap the up tilt out of that neutral get up.
And these are all the kills we are seeing. It is Jaka just overestimating themselves a little bit. Not to say that they couldn't absolutely pull this out of the bag, but you're just giving Mr. R so many opportunities to find a well-spaced punish as the grab is still not enough. Going deep, lingering there, but there's the trap.
Yeah, almost confirming right there.
Very, very close.
Look
And
at that.
Mr. R is just keeping Jaka at such an arm's length that even when they have to shield those traps, there's no way to punish because you've just been forced so far away.
You know what? One thing I've noticed in this matchup that's actually really tough for Jaka is out of shields. Isabelle can't really do much to answer Chrom, like at all. It is a very difficult situation.
Got that right. Excellent use of space by Mr. R there. Let's see what we can do. And just a whiffed grab. Takes that with a dash attack. And this is one angry Chrom, Mystic.
Exactly that. Just a rage. That's there. Jab back air will probably kill that ledge. Oh, there we go.
Oh, that'll do it.
Yeah. Didn't even need to confirm off of that one.
Just let the Lloyd do the work, you know?
Exactly.
Just set him up. Ooh, goes to the down throw. I like the mix-up there, but it's off the platform.
Wow. Read the roll, but it's just that option's just not quick enough.
That's quite the shame now. Throw it onto the platform. Doesn't get the tech chase, but is able to improvise. Smack out there. Balloon going to mess up the hitbox. Extend it just enough for Jaka to find a punish as well. 1, 2, 3. ABC. What's the plan, Jaka?
Just F tilt. It just runs right into the F tilt, unfortunately.
And unfortunately, like you said, that's the story of the game. It's Jaka running into hitboxes. Like,
yeah,
he really just needs to slow it down a little bit. Maybe play a bit more. I mean, you know, not to discredit how amazing the spacing from Mr. R is, anywho, but he really is just giving unending opportunities.
Exactly. Oh. The down tilt pressure is really, really hard to deal with for Jaka.
Forces a jump over the Lloyd, but he still gets the platform drop. Such good improvisation from Mr. R. And there's just no way to punish. Like you said, there's no out shield option.
It is very, very difficult for Jaka to answer. The only way is to whiff punish and to just outspace. Going for very aggressive edge guard there.
And it has worked before. Now the balloon's really messing with that down air. Let's see if we can find the spike. A little bit sour.
Yeah.
What are you looking for?
Oh, the jab. Almost.
Well, I could have certain that was going to be a grab, but don't even worry.
The movement from Mr. R to just wave bounce that side B there, just get out of there. It was really good.
And these are the positions that Jaka wants to find himself in. It's when he's forced Mr. R onto a platform above him.
There we go. The down tilt caught him missing that tech, and, you know, just secured him with the F tilt. Not going to drop that one.
Yeah, pretty tough. Mr. R looking very, very convincing right now. I don't know how Jaka comes back from this, honestly.
Yeah, no, I think... Again, he has a grasp of the matchup now. I feel like first game was a bit shaky for Mr. R, but game 2, he had a bit more awareness on spacing and what Isabelle can do and what she can't do, and especially those tech chases. Oh my god, like when she down tilts, when Mr. R down tilts Isabelle, it is -5. It is an extremely, extremely good down tilt. So there's not much she can do apart from just run away.
Honestly, I think the biggest thing that Jaka is lacking in or struggling with is the fact that he's not parrying enough. But that's not the kind of thing you just kind of fix, right?
True.
That's something you have to lab and practice, and that's just not
Absolutely.
going to happen because he needs out of field. He needs advantage, right? He needs punishes.
Exactly.
He's just not being given the opportunity. This puppy is being absolutely drowned out by Mr. R right now, and they're
Look at that
forced onto the
combo
platform.
Just the beauty of the fact that they're on Battlefield. And now, it's Ledge versus Chrom.
Which is
That was
not
good.
a situation I want to be in, let me tell
Exactly.
you. No,
Oh,
what?
wow.
A disgusting
Yeah.
read, baby.
Mr. R has been covering it for quite a while now, but this time he just said, you know what, I see the American adult, I'm going to let it rip.
Yeah, you got that right. Oh, but Jaka wants something of his own, but you can't be that hasty. Mr. R, he planted those crops and he let them grow, but you are just absolutely forcing it now as he sends him up into the air.
Look at that, again, just view reversing / wave bouncing, that dance play is so good.
Yeah,
Actually,
you can see...
Yeah, go on.
Well, I was just going to say, you can see Jaka now relying a lot more on the tether recovery now. Looks like Mr. R can't really punish it as consistently, but I was really liking sort of the balloon hitboxes as the DI mix-up. That's what we like to see. I love the option for up throw there.
Just fished him up and tossed him into the air. That's exactly what he was looking for.
That right, looks like Jaka's in a pretty good position. Got the Lloyd in play, tries to read a roll, but Mr. R keeping his cool. That's what we like to see now.
Huge damage.
So unsafe, but they get away with it.
Yep. You know what, I've seen a very common theme, like whoever has center stage, it is very, very hard for them to just lose it if they know what they're doing.
Oh, yeah.
Jab, back there. Not
Very
quite.
clean, but Isabelle, a little bit heavy, throwing out a couple of nairs. Probably just wants to unstale something,
Yeah,
would
definitely.
be my guess. Oh, trapped on the platform. 1, 2, 3, back to the ground, but you're back right into the stratosphere there. Trying to go.
Oh, they should have just relaxed. The second they threw out that back air and it just, yeah, they ran right into that F-tilt. That was tough.
Pretty rough, man. Pretty rough indeed. And it looks like Mr. R wants to run away with the set. Wants to make it very, very clean. And let me tell you, it is looking sparkling right now,
Exactly.
Mystic.
Just abusing those platforms
Yeah,
so
another
well.
tether recovery. Doesn't get a roll read. Doesn't really need to. He's just
Wow.
throwing him like a ping pong ball, man.
Exactly. From one side of the stage to the other is just relentless pressure.
You can see we've sort of shifted in the use of the Lloyds as well. They're now a more sort of instantaneous. God, get away! Just give me a second to think. God,
Exactly.
just throwing everything in the kitchen sink at him. But Mr. R is unrelenting right now. See if they can find a catch with an up air. Rising there.
I'm glad that Jaka didn't like fast forward that immediately. He just floats. You gotta abuse the fact that you're floaty, and Jaka did that pretty well.
Agreed now goes for the instant throw, but Mr. R is ready with the DI. Like to see a couple of nairs. 3 of them will do.
There we go. The nair coverage is more than enough to deal with that ledge jump. Look at the DI from Jaka. Like twice just DIing that perfectly.
Crazy. They can make a comeback, but I don't know how likely it is. One angry Isabelle, but the parry means there is nothing you can do to prevent your fate, Sir Jaka.
Mr. R was fully awake when he parried that. He knew he was coming off that platform with that aerial. Just cleaned it up with the jab back air. Wasn't able to DI it that time around, but yeah, either way, clean, convincing 3-1 for Mr. R.
Yeah, it looked absolutely suffocating for Jaka there. Like, I think, and honestly, I think parries were genuinely just the name of that game, right?
Yep.
Mr. R had so many things covered. He's so just fundamentally